Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and having a great day. So today I'm back with another video with another book to give a review on, which is Before and After. An End of the World Weight Loss Epic. This book is by Shanahan. Hi Ben, I am Josie. I am the lead bariatric nurse and I will be helping to move you and making sure you are comfortable until we get to hospital. Hi Ben, I am Dr. Ash and I am responsible for making sure that you are all fit and healthy. For the big move. Hi Ben, I'm Lloyd and I am one of the diabetes nurses that will be getting you safely out of your flat and into the ambulance. There are more. I tune them out after a bit. The first name stuff is supposed to be reassuring and make me feel empowered. They all call me Ben once they have established that I am happy to be referred to that way. Ultimately, it makes it all seem like we are a bunch of mates who get together occasionally to lift a 601-pound man out of the front wall of his home with a crane. All standard stuff, very normal. Another of the inanities is that they all individually ask me to repeat and confirm what it is that's being done. So I tell them all repeatedly that I am having my leg amputated, and once that is established, then we confirm which leg it is. They all ask the fireman who falls to his death is Carl, and the one who kicks him out of the window is Carl. It seems like such a pointless It seems like such a pointless thing to remember. But when the two firemen first arrive at my flat, Carl makes a big thing about him being Carl with a C and his colleague being Carl with a K. It would be more accurate to say Carl with a C is the one who compulsively chips in gags and catchphrases. And Carl with a K is the one who mostly works in a tight-jawed silence. It's the sort of bobbins you say when there is very little that needs to be said and silence is awkward. Everyone who has been through the flat that morning has their own Mostly it consists of a series of introductions and overly cheerful explanations. Me to go through this process even though Dr. Ash has already drawn on my right leg and signed his initials. It's surreal to watch him do it and barely feel a thing. Thanks to the nerve damage from the diabetes. Even without the messy FA scrolled on my leg, I hope it would be apparent to anyone even vaguely medically trained which one is the poorly leg. If the nasty sunburn hue drifts off, peeling white skin, and mottled purple and black patches don't give it away, then the 4-inch then the 4-inch scab on the top of my foot should clinch it. So you are having your right lower leg amputated. Is that correct? That is correct. And you have had the process of what's happening to you today explained? Yes, at least 1,000 times. And do you have any questions? Yes, how did I get to this position? What went wrong? Who will care for Brown? Why can't I stop thinking about eating? Am I worth saving? No, it's all clear. Thank you. Eventually, the noises die off, and I pull the duvet over my head to contain the noises while I reboot the unit again and wait as the LED display lights up again. Await further instructions. Hello, I whisper urgently into the unit. Can anyone hear me? Is someone here? There is no response, but a voice is broadcasting. So I shut up and listen. It is a woman's computerized voice reading in a calm but officious tone. Attention! This is a crisis broadcast recorded and distributed on Wednesday, the 5th, 5th August 2020. The message follows. There has been a global incident resulting in massive loss of life and the destruction of property. This has resulted in the disruption of travel links, power networks, and communication systems. At this time, emergency, military, and governmental responses are compromised. The cause of this incident is unknown. But if you witness someone demonstrating significantly altered behavior and symptoms including severe vomiting, then you are advised to avoid contact. I am not going to tell you that paying this bill is not going to hurt. If you do Disney right, it should make you wince so hard you pull a muscle. But when Mickey comes over, and he will, I strongly suspect that Steve will cry. But no one is going to cry because they are terrified that they are going to be abducted. The girls will hold out their hands and Mickey will give them a hug. And you are going to get that photo of the whole family with the most famous mouse in the world. And in 2 years, when you finish paying this bill off, that photo won't have even started to fade. Do it for Loppy, said Steve, with a note of finality. For Loppy, agreed Marcy. Ben wiped his face from the fresh sheen of sweat that had taken hold and took them through the final upgrade options. They took the 7-day express ride ticket that Ben recommended. They also got the platinum souvenir package, the Cinderella's royal table experience, and Ben fiddled the order details. So they got the bedtime story with Mickey. Until they until I see a small notice on the control panel. On the control panel, which even upside down I can read maximum operator weight 150 kg. That would mean that about half of me could escape. I want to scream with the frustration of it all. No water, no medicine, no escape. I feel an urgent longing for a biscuit. Not just one biscuit, 1,000 biscuits, enough to eat away all this failure and just briefly block out the world. I simmer with frustration as I watch another perfect deep pink sunset predicting another sunny day tomorrow. I look again at Carl and see close up where he has been smashed into the side of the building when the cherry picker moved. His face looks ruined. There is a smear of blood about a across the meter long across the side of the building where it seems he's been dragged face first against the wall. That's when I see that he is still wearing his coat, and that clip to the breast pocket is the thick, robust looking emergency radio. I limp back into the bedroom and switch out the end of the reaching stick and attach the toy grasping arm I use for extending my rage one sitting. Half a lump. Why should decent taxpayers like me foot the bills for this? There is a whole bloody team of people whose entire day is going to be spent waiting around to move your fat, sweating carcass to hospital just so that you can get your leg lopped off because you can't stop shoving KFC in your face. His face is red and he's leaning so close that I have to turn my head away to avoid the harsh acid of his breath. Something is wrong. His voice is pitched high and his body beats with an unnerving energy. I see his fingers twitching and he blinks rapidly. I am a vegan, I say, stuck for anything logical to diffuse this situation. What? I am a vegan. I don't eat chicken. Do you think that makes a blind bit of difference? Do you think it matters one hairy whether you coat yourself to this point on zinger burgers or on lentils? Push on the power button and watch the unit flash into life. The battery indicator is tinged red and only a single silver of power remains. I have to work quickly. I turn both the dials and start pressing buttons. Hello, can anyone hear me? Hello, I pant into the receiver. I look again at the unit and press and hold the power button to try and reboot it. After a couple of seconds, it illuminates. It illuminates and goes through a brief display cycle. Another button says seek, and I keep pressing that and listening. There is a pause and then a dry button, then a dry burst of static each time. I press it. Every few seconds I repeat hello. I jab at another button on the top of the unit and a shrill arm. And a shrill alarm sounds, scaring me so much that I immediately hit the power off button just to get it to shut up. In the corridor outside the flat, I hear footsteps and voices raise, and Mr. Athos and the lady start another screaming battle. I lie back on my bed and hope it stops. I force it open to give me a hook shape for the end of the pole. I feed the I feed the pole carefully down the side of the building and manage to gently tease the radio from Carl's uniform and pull it into my flat. Carl doesn't move at all, and I resign myself to the fact that I have now assaulted and possibly killed two people. I feel a surge of panic, a desperate need to explain to someone that this isn't who I am. My head feels light, and I think I am going to fall over. I had been having fewer hunger pangs since about the fourth day, but when they hit, I feel like they might actually kill me. I had been having I tried to breathe as feelings of guilt and pain and hunger were within me. After a minute, I feel strong enough to carry on. The radio unit is heavier and squatter than a mobile phone. It has two dials on the top of the unit and a digital display on the front. I hobble down the corridor away from the lounge and into my old bedroom to try and contain the noise. I shut the door and sit on my old bed, which makes the springs squeak. I catch my breath and flex my toes, wincing as the scab pinches and starts to bleed. I give a long. We have got to wait until they find out what's happening. There is no backup because all the crews are out. I am telling you now, it's going to be ours. We are going to be sat smelling this lattes for the rest of the day. What's happening at the hospital? Carl asks. They just said there's been some big emergency. I don't think they knew. Something is off about all of this. Carl walks back into my field of view and squats by my head. He is dripping with sweat, and a bead falls from his forehead onto mine. I try to edge away. Do you know how much this cost today? He asks. I know it's a lot, I reply, feeling ashamed. Of course, I know today is extravagant. Of course, I know it is my fault. I just can't understand what is happening. Where are the medical staff? Why can't I just go to hospital and wait for whatever this emergency is to end? Why can't they just leave me alone and get out of my home? You should know. Not only should you know, if it was up to me, you have to fucking pay for it. You wish them. This broadcast will be updated every 24 hours with the latest information. The advice is to stay calm and stay in your homes. There is a pause and clicking sound before the message continues. Attention, this is a crisis broadcast recorded and distributed on Thursday, the 6th August 2020. The message follows. Where is everyone? Is everyone left? I think the rats have killed everyone. They said we weren't supposed to use the broadcast system. But I can't hold of anyone on the radio, and all of the CEOs are dead. Is anyone out there I am on my own now. Please send help. This broadcast will be updated every 24 hours with the latest information. The advice is to stay calm and to stay in your homes. This message will now repeat. I'll listen through one more time and power the radio off. Father Donnell brought the tea into the lounge and placed the mugs into the and placed the mugs onto the adjustable table that Ben kept next to the bed. He returned to the kitchen and brought in a pack of bourbons as well. Have you thought of a name yet? The priest asked, indicating the small black and brown blob in the fleece basket. Placed between Ben and the wall. I am not good with names, Father. I think I will stick with Brown. Right. But one could make the argument that she is very much black. Yeah, I think it sort of sums up the mess of it all. The priest looked around for something to sit on, and not seeing any chairs, he indicated the foot of the bed. Help yourself, Father, as long as you don't judge. Long as you don't jiggle, said Ben. The priest said gently and reached to take his tea and a bourbon. The king of biscuits, the bourbon. You know, it's often pronounced bourbon, but actually it's a softer bourbon that is correct. And did you also know that they're so cold because you are supposed to dip them in whiskey? Is that true? Asked Ben, shocked. He didn't consider himself a connoisseur of much, but he had probably eaten more bourbon biscuits than anyone alive, and this was news to him. No, I don't think so. But if you have got some whiskey, maybe we could try. Is that true? You have had to look in the cupboard down there. Ben indicated the cupboard next to the TV. And Father Donald sprang up from the bed, causing Ben to wince. He knelt next to the cupboard and removed trapped Brown lightly on the back, and she stood and repositioned herself in her fleece crib. I wanted to come to the service, Father, I asked. I asked the council about how could we do it, but they said they couldn't cover the cost of getting me out. Ben sobbed and the priest smiled and nodded. I don't know what I am doing, Father. I am scared. What will I do without Mum? The priest sighed and put another solid drop of whiskey in his tea. I know you have not got religion in the same way as your mum, Ben, but I remember your confirmation well enough. So there's a story you might know from the Bible. This is from just after Jesus gets baptized and your man's on fire. He's just walking around miracle after miracle. I have a present for your beautiful dog, Brown. May I come in? I don't feel like I can stop you, short of physically bearing the way. Ben stood back and let her in. I can't believe you just turned up like this. I have not hoovered or dissolved the body of my last victim in the bathtub yet. Ordinarily, I would say that it doesn't matter, Ben. But your flat looks and smells horrible, and I think you have earned my honesty. Thank you, Helen. I will show my gratitude in making sure I will kill you thoroughly first before I dissolve you. They were now in the kitchen. Ben saw the in the kitchen, Ben saw the flat through her eyes and was aware of how odd it all was. He had an insane he had an insane thought run through his head that he should lean in and kiss her on the lips. He panicked as if he panicked as he was leaning across and aborted the action and touched her warmly on the shoulder, which awkwardly evolved into giving her an arm's length cuddle. Brown looked confused as Helen spotted her and went into paroxysms of "Hello, Ben, I'm Helen," she said, and she held out her hand. Ben shook it. "It's very nice to meet you, Helen. My name is Ben." He froze, aware that now was the moment where she would see that he was twice the man he would been pretending to be. She smiled at him. She was shorter than he imagined, but she was so pretty that Ben felt giddy. His hair was so shiny there was a band of light all along it. How did that happen? Was it a shampoo thing? He recognized that his intellectual faculties had stalled, so he covered by not saying anything. He recognized that his intellectual anything and staring dumbly at her. Can you hear me okay, Marcy, Steve? I'm still getting quite a lot of crackling. I don't think it's our end, Ben. It could be a bad line. I suppose. Do you want to call us back? No, it's fine. I think it's settled. Maybe it was just. Maybe it was just a patch of interference. Okay, let's just recap on the package so far. Ben Ben curled up on a tablet, being careful not to crinkle the arms of the suit too much and read from the screen. We have flight for 4 to Walt Disney World. We have chosen the Atlantic Clubhouse upgrade on the flights, which gives you access to the VIP lounge at Manchester, Heathrow and Florida. Brown opens her mouth and pants at me, her long pink tongue lolling from her mouth. Good girl. I made it too. I don't know why I made it. I prayed for God to save me, and He did. Me and Brown are going to see if we can return the favor and maybe save the world. But first, we are going to Disneyland. So this is all we have from this book. I hope you guys liked it, enjoyed the story. If you did, don't forget to press the like button. And if you wanted to suggest any other book for a review, you can tell me in the comment section. I'll make a video on it too. And if you wanted to buy any one of these best-selling books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. So I'll be back with another video to give a review on another book. Till then, just take care and goodbye.